excited, right? So you get to mention the questions. Unless you want me to make it graded, is it more exciting? No? Okay. So my question to you is,
Oh, I'm answering?
yes.
Oh.
Is the shutter speed slow or fast?
Low.
Very good. Why did you say that?
Because he is very.
Very good. It is slow, right? The shutter speed is slow because she is blurry. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So blurry movement is low shutter speed. See that everything else is sharp. It's only her that is blurred because it's a slow shutter speed. So that means it's a high number or low number? Low number, excellent. Like you said so well before, 30, or if he's using a tripod, which I think he did. We're gonna talk more about him today. Then you can go up and lower. So okay, pick someone else, anyone, because we're starting again.
The guy with the navy blue.
Okay, Anthony, navy blue guy. So, is this the next one, right? Is this an f-stop that is a high number or a low number?
Would it be high?
Why?
I don't know. I just took a guess. I got to go home and review.
No, I'm gonna press today. So just remember, the f-stop number, okay, if you want, yeah, please.
Is it because the picture has noise?
It doesn't have a lot of noise, it's my slide, it's actually super sharp, that picture. Yeah.
It's because the background, everything is in frame, it's not blurry.
Exactly. So everything, yeah, I apologize that you've seen this like this. I actually think you've seen this because it's so sharp.
It says it's from 1855, so that could be.
Yeah, that means the picture is sharper than the ones we use today. The earlier photographs, because the thing is, our photographs today, like I said in another time, the full frame camera, which is not the ones we use here, are the more expensive ones. Their negatives this big. The negative of this photographer, Phantom, was this big. It's 8 by 10. So imagine the amount of information that you get here compared to this. Your negative is this big. So yeah, no, it would never be a sharp person. Try as you must. But so just remember this. If you have a very high number, f-stop, then your background is sharp. If you have a very low number, your background is blurred. Okay? We good? So, pick someone else for us, please. Yeah? So, and I apologize, the next image is a bit violent. No, it's very violent. Is this a fast shutter speed or a slow shutter speed? Why?
Like if it was slow, the guy on the right would be blurred out.
Excellent. See how these guys like statue, right? Perfect. You can only get that effect if your shutter speed is super fast, very fast. And of course, he can do a very fast shutter speed because it's a very bright day, he's outdoors, it's in Vietnam. And you have to think that, what's happening at this moment of the war, the US people are leaving that town. So they're literally running away to get an helicopter. And as they are running, the people who help the US people are being executed. And so the photographer is, so imagine how knowledge you have to be about photography. You are in this very stressful situation and then you stop and take this picture. It's actually a series and you see this guy being killed. And you see this is an important image of photojournalism. Very good. So pick someone else for us, please. Okay. So, is it a fast or a slow shutter speed?
Slow.
Why?
Because it's a little blurry. I could be, I don't know. Yeah, no, it's sharp. It's very sharp.
I don't know if you're wrong because you said both things, right?
Alright, I mean, I think it's a little blurry, but I could be wrong. So we're gonna go with slow.
Is it
Final
slow
answer.
because they are blurred?
Yeah.
I see. I don't think they are that blurred.
I don't think it's
If
that
they were
clear.
blurred,
I think maybe you're thinking the background is blurred, but I think that's just like the texture. I think that's just how the
I
wall.
feel like there's just like
I think the
blending
wheels would
in.
not like show the lines if it was like the low shutter speed, we'd see the lines, so I think it's a high shutter speed.
Yeah.
very good. No, I think if the wheels are turning, we see that blurry quality of the wheels.
So if the wheels were turning, there'd be a low shutter speed.
It would, if the wheels are turning and you see them as perfectly as we see right now, it would have to be a fast shutter speed. So, slow shutter speed, blurs movement, fast shutter speed, freezes movement. So fast shutter speed freezes movement. Fast shutter speed freezes movement. Except that this one was a trap for you. Was that a trick? Huh? It's staged, excellent. Because see, when this picture was taken, 1859, this is the shutter. What is the shutter? The shutter is a piece of leather, and then you do this, and then you put it back. The shutter speed will never be fast. Because when a fast shutter speed is 250, for instance, 250 means 1 second divided by 250. So, how do you say this in English? The 250th of a second? That's how you say it? And you would not do this if you just go into the leather and put it. Even if you do it very fast, it will not work. So they are standing still, probably for about 5 minutes because they didn't have, the cameras were not very sensitive. And they have this painted background behind them. So you pick someone else first, please.
Okay. Jonathan. Oh, the person who's last name. All the way in the back.
Wait.
Isn't it all the way in the back?
Ben?
Me?
Oh, Ben, your name was Jonathan. That's alright.
I was for a moment.
I thought it was someone over there in the back.
No? Sorry.
So Ben, is it a high number or a low number f-stop?
Love.
Why?
because it's all blurred, it's not all shown, like, only the stuff that's closest to the lens is being in frame, everything else is blurred in the back.
Exactly. It's actually a beautiful example. Like it's so blurred. Only the sole
The tips of the
feet.
toes, and
Yeah.
everything
Yeah,
else is.
You never get that with your cameras, ever. But if you ever get a really nice camera, you can do it.
But look at how like sharp his little feet are. Or her little
Exactly.
feet.
And it's just like,
So
it's
Ben,
just,
tell us why, how? But her feet are very sharp.
Hmm?
Yeah, explain that to us, please. The thing that she just asked.
so basically, like I said before, the camera has different lenses in it, and the one that you pick that has the lowest f-stop has the most shallow depth of field, so it's only gonna pick up things that are right in front of it, and anything else behind it, it's not gonna be focused on.
Yes, the shallow depth of field depends of the proximity of the lens. Most of the cameras in the room, the minimum focus
18.
is 18 to 28 centimeters. So I don't know in inch because I'm Brazilian. It's 28 centimeters, which is about this. So just look at my finger and tell me in inch how much this is. So about 28 centimeters. So if this is in focus, if this lens was good, which is not, everything behind could be blurred. If you use an f-stop of 1.2 to get that effect, which you can't with those ones. But that's the idea. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So Ben, pick someone else for us, please.
I'll pick. Did you go yet? Yeah, you.
Not yet.
Okay.
So, is it a high number or a low number shutter speed?
Oh, is it?
Is it higher?
Why?
Because you could see the light.
You can see the light and high shutter speed.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, like, I guess it's from far distance, you could still see, like, the sharpness stuff that was there.
Super sharp, exactly. This is what this artist, John Baldessari, the famous US artist, is doing. He's drawing four balls in the sky and trying to draw a square. And of course, he can only draw that square by taking pictures. So he takes all those pictures until he thinks the closest he gets to a square, and then he stops. To do this, he needs to have a very fast shutter speed, very high number, to freeze the ball's movement. If they are blurred, they will not do the square. It helps that he was super Californian, so a lot very sunny, a lot of light. So very good. Pick someone else for us, please. Monica,
Yeah.
is this, next one, a fast or a slow shutter speed, meaning it's a high number or a low number shutter speed?
Look, look,
Why?
cause it's, what do you call it? It's, not dull, blurry.
Very good. Exactly. Perfect. It's a low number, meaning it's a slow shutter speed, and you can tell because it's so blurry. And of course, this picture is from 1911, so automatically you know it's low, because they didn't have the fast shutter speed. But notice that this photographer took this to their advantage. Said, oh, let me do this as an effect, so it looks like the person is typing very fast, you know. So it's nice, you don't need to be a hostage of technology. What really takes great pictures is your brain, it's not the camera. The camera helps you, but it's not the camera that takes the pictures. You take the pictures. Very good. The next one is a bit difficult. Let's see. Pick someone for us, please. Macy. Okay, let's see. Let's see what you say.
She knows.
Is it a fast or a slow shutter speed? Or if you want to phrase in another way, is it a high number or a low number shutter speed?
Low,
Why?
because the stars are like the orbit of them.
Wow. Yes, exactly. Excellent. Do you see this? These are the stars. The way that this photographer did this image, she went to the desert where there is no light whatsoever. She had a high the word just blanked on the word. No, it's not a digital camera. It's a film camera with a large negative, and there is a name for that. I just forgot. But anyway, she went with her large film camera that has a high negative in the desert. She put her camera in the floor. That's why you can see the rocks. And you have to think there is no light whatsoever in this place. That's why she went to the desert. So you would be pitch dark. Then she took over the shutter from her camera and went home. And then she came back at morning and closed the camera. So the whole light that you see is the light of the whole night that lit the rocks and the flowers. And as Mace told us, that registered the path of the stars at the sky. By the way, the camera is called a large format camera.
Have you ever heard of that type of experiment kinda where it's like a can that you put a pinhole with and then you put like a piece of paper on the back and it basically does the same thing?
Yeah.
I did that once.
Oh, yeah?
It's really cool.
Oh, nice. And I used to do the pinhole in this class, actually. I used to start with it. I love it. It's just that now it's harder to process. It used to do that, you'd go to CVS, they would give us an hour. So by the end of the class, you could get the results. And now they don't have to do it anymore. It
Near
takes 2
me, there's
weeks.
like this old film camera store that still does it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And it's also more expensive. It used to be like 20 cents. It's more expensive. But yeah, this that Ben is describing, totally recommend. It's wonderful. It's basically, you get any box, make a hole, put a film inside, that's a camera. In fact, all cameras are like that. Very good. Pick someone else for us, please. Is this next one a high number or a low number shutter speed?
Hi.
Why?
Well, you showed the image before, right?
I did.
And there was like a person tying his shoe.
Yeah, close.
So he freezes movement for the person. No?
If a person, if he was not tying his shoe,
What was he doing?
what was he doing?
What?
What's it?
Oh. So yeah, high number shutter speed.
Okay, because it freezes movement.
Yeah.
Okay, no, because look,
Yeah.
1838, you couldn't do high shutter speed. Because remember the piece of leather that you take with your hands? You can do it very fast. No, if you try it, I don't know, it would be at least a second. No, that would be more than a second probably. So there was no high shutter speed at the time. Two, I don't. When I showed this image was to tell you all those streets were full of people.
Oh, but no, the streets looked empty, although there were people there, and that was like the first real picture that somebody had taken. No, sort of.
Sort of. What is this the first picture of? Of a person. This is the first picture of a person.
And they didn't know it.
They didn't know. The other people were not captured. Why? What?
They're moving too fast.
They moving too fast. Because the shutter speed is so slow that they don't register. So even if you're walking like this is too fast. This is why it's hard to get clouds at the time, because clouds move too fast for the shutter speed at the time. So make sense?
I have a question.
Please.
When did high shutter speed exist?
So I would say about 1930s. About
So any
1930s.
picture before 1930s is low.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would say about 1930s. The process, the thing is, the processes are they're not uniform. You know, so if you ask any process, it's kind of a little bit. So when this color photography, and I could tell you, oh, color photography existed in 1910, except no one used it until the 1970s, more, or 50s for commercial purposes and 70s for art. So technology goes a bit. I have two more to go, so pick someone else for us, please. Okay, yeah? Do you think you can do now since you heard how it works? Okay, let's see. Your question is the shutter speed fast or slow? Or is it a high number or a low number shutter speed?
It's fast.
Why?
Well, it's pretty sharp. Can you guys see any blurriness? Maybe like more of a focus, but not as blurry. I feel like if it was blurry, you wouldn't be able to see like how, like the shapes of the bag. Could be wrong.
No, you are right. You didn't even come last class, and you're correct. What you said is right, and why is correct also. So this picture is super sharp. Imagine you want to take a picture of a frog jumping. That's frogs jump very quickly, and you get it just at the time that gets into the water. Look at the water looks like glass because it's so sharp. So this photographer had to work with scientists to develop this camera to be able to photograph nature like this. His shutter speed is 25,000. Do you know what is your highest shutter speed in your cameras? 4,000. His is 25,000. So this is super sharp image of a really fast movement. Very good. Pick one last person first. Very good. Yes. He is also a little bit, let's see, a little bit tricky, this one, but interesting. Can you tell us, is it a fast or a slow shutter speed? Which means, is it a high number or a low number?
No number of what?
Shutter speed.
What's the difference?
I will tell you in a minute.
No.
Why? Very good. Who can tell me if Kathleen is right or wrong?
I'm gonna guess. Is it low because obviously there's a picture on the screen, but you can't see the picture, so it kind of blurs it out. So that
When you say picture, what do you mean?
there's something. Isn't that a movie theater?
It is what it is.
So there's a picture like on the screen like the movies, right? So I'm
That's correct.
assuming that the white screen is a low shutter speed because it's blurring the movement of the actual film that's being presented.
Excellent. You are correct, and that's the reason. It's a slow, that's a beautiful project by the Japanese photographer called Sujimoto, in which he photographed old movie theaters in New York City. None of which is a theater anymore, movie theaters. Now there is another beauty to the project. And he would open his shutter when the movie starts and close his shutter when the movie ends. So that white light is an entire film that is captured, because film is light, and the photo captures the film, and all the theater is lit just by the light coming from the screen. It's kind of a beautiful, poetical project by Tsujimoto. Very good. It's a good refresher. I think I have a slide here too for you to look at. Let me remember where I put it here. So as you can see, blurred background, sharp background, sharp movement, blurred movement. And if you remember examples from our last class, these are also 30 for blurred movement, 125 or higher for sharp movement.
What's the lowest you can go?
It depends on the camera, right? Wasn't it? No, wait. It was like it was a letter. It was a. Wasn't it like
No,
Was it a
well,
letter?
what's the lower you can go without a tripod? Which one is the one you can go?
Was it a 10 or 5?
You said earlier.
No, I did not say it.
You forgot
I-
yourself.
I
You
didn't
forgot
say it.
your
I did
own.
not say it.
You did.
No, I
You
didn't.
did.
I think it was a light that she said. What's the lowest shutter speed you can go?
She said 130.
Yes.
She said 30. She was
Yeah.
the first one to say.
Yes.
30 is the lowest?
You said.
Yes.
You said when we first.
You
That was the
said
first
it,
answer
yeah.
of the class.
I could have swore there was lower.
No. So let me clarify this.
Okay. Oh.
With or without a tripod, you can go, the lowest most cameras can go is a thing called blurb. Blurb means you open it,
It's blurry.
and then it will be open until you tell it to close. So if you want to be 3 days with the thing open, you can. That is the lowest you can go. But if you don't have a tripod, you shouldn't go below 30 because your picture will be blurred.
So there is below 30.
That is below 30.
Yeah, so then what, I'm not asking, so then what's the lowest you can go? I'm not saying for a good picture. I'm saying, I'm just curious in general.
Well, see, that question is tricky because they say, what's the lowest you can go? In this class, because you're not using a tripod, it's
I'm not
30.
I'm asking in general.
Most cameras, you can go all the way to I will open and I will decide when I will close. What you should remember is this. Wherever you see numbers that have codes on them, that means 1 second. That's very low. You can go to 30 seconds, which is ridiculously low. Super, super,
So
super.
the
So
lowest
30
she-
seconds So I could go to 1. That's the lowest I
You
can
can
go.
go to 30 seconds, which is lower than 1.
Okay.
Look.
It's 30. So I can. So then, can I go to 60 seconds? Because that's like.
No, then after that, if you click both, that means is you can let it open as long as you want. So it can be like I will show you an example. There is this guy that does 8 hours. I'm gonna not show you an example. It's not in this slideshow. I think I have it. Let's try this. No. Okay, I'll not show this example because I don't remember where I put it. Oh no, it's here. So for instance, when you look at a picture, so let's put some things in perspective. This.
Okay.
This is 8 hours.
Right for the shutter speed. For the shutter speed and.
That's what we're talking about,
Mhm.
right? Shutter speed.
Yes.
Okay. This is 8 hours because you use it in both.
Okay. So the lowest you can go is both. That's it. Okay. That was my question.
Okay. Does that make sense? Remember, the shutter speed is when you open and close. The shutter is the thing that closes the lamp. And you open and lower. The higher the number, the faster it is. So 4,000 is very fast. And the lower the number, the slowest it is. So 15 is low. 10 is low. I don't think it goes 5. Then 1 is low. But then after 1, it starts going code marks. That's even is lower. And it can go until 30 seconds. Every camera is a bit different, but I think the cameras in the room will be like that. If, and you can just check, put your shutter speed and go all the way to the, normally it's the left side, and you see what happens. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, actually I'll keep, because I still want to show you 2 things. Was this refresher useful? Little bit, yeah. The thing you need to remember is low f-stop blurs background. Low f-stop blurs background. High f-stop has sharp background. Plus, low shutter speed blurs movement. Low shutter speed blurs movement, high shutter speed freezes movement. So those are the really the things you need to remember. And remember your light meter should always be on 0. Okay? So, I want to show you 2 people that do portraits. This is a German photographer called Wolfgang Tillmans. Very important contemporary guy. Contemporary meaning he's alive, working right now. He's German, but he travels a lot in many places. So when you look at this picture, you can see she is very sharp, and everything around her is very blurred. You can see that, right? That we call, it's a shallow depth of field. When the background is very blurred, shallow depth of field. How do you get this effect?
If I'm not mistaken, when you have multiple lenses or multiple things, you change the one closest to you to focus while the rest is.
It's not about focus.
No shutter speed?
It's not shutter speed.
Isn't it your f-stop?
It is your f-stop. What about f-stop?
Low.
Low f-stop. You want blurred background, low f-stop. Lowest you have. You will not get this because you don't have that camera. You don't get the good one. But you get some. No, it's other pictures of his. You see how the bathroom or kitchen, whatever, the tiles behind him are a little bit blurred. So that's because that stop is not very high. Same thing here. These are all pictures by this guy, Wolfgang Tillmans. And of course, people that do portraits, they like doing this because you focus on the person instead of the background. No? If you could see every tree behind her, you would not pay as much attention to her mouth and so on, to her face. You really look at her.
So a low f-stop is a blurred background and a high f-stop is a sharp background.
That's correct. This is when he first started, he did some fashion and so it was a very different kind of fashion photography at the time. Now he's very influenced, so many people do things that look like this, but when he did it was very new. The thing will be hard to do with our cameras is to get, see these are pictures he did in a subway in London, the tube. And when people are very close, your cameras don't do a very good blurred background. You need this background to be very far. Unfortunately, with his lens, he can do it. It's just to see how he shows them, because often he doesn't frame them, he just pin them in the walls of museums. He's a super cool guy. And I want to show you another photographer, this time a US photographer, who does doing similar thing. So that first one is Wolfgang Tillmans. Here it is, special for you. And this other guy is Down Bay. So you can see the two people are very sharp and the background is blurred. So this, that background is beautiful, but would compete with the people if it was not blurred. Like the checkered shirt and the carpet, they would.
So that would be a low f-stop.
That's a low f-stop. That's exactly it. Same thing here. So the characters are very sharp, but the background is blurred. And even here, you still can see that it's a church, so there is the location. But if you look, the bench, the wood of the bench in the first row is very visible. You can see the design of the wood, and then it kind of blurs out in the other pictures. So most people that do portraits use that low f-stop. I'll just make a note of this project. It's such a great project. So as you know, in the 60s there was a terrorist attack in Birmingham, which killed 4 or 5 children in a church. They put a bomb in a church and murdered those girls who were preparing for a celebration in the church. And later on in the same day, 2 boys were killed by people in the streets who were celebrating the terrorists, who were white supremacists. And after 50 years, Down Bay did this project to commemorate this date. And what he did was he went to the city and he photographed people in the city who are the age that the girls, 4 or 5, I forgot now, 4 or 5 girls would be today if they had lived in the age that they were at the time that they were killed, and the boys, the age that they were when they were murdered, and the age that they would have been. So you see, it's a powerful project. You know, these people looking at us, and it's like the people that are not here looking at us. You know, it's really strong. To me, it's one of the great photography projects of the past decade, anywhere, but certainly in the United States. So you see that the technique that we're talking about, you know, so f-stop, if you get a low f-stop, you blur the background. That's important because it makes the picture work better as a portrait. But you also see that you put ideas and emotions in the work, and the technique serves those ideas and emotions. The technique's not what makes a work good. The ideas and the emotions are what make them good. And the technique helps you accomplish your ideas. Okay? So it makes sense? Do you have any questions for the things we discussed? Very good. How about now you bear with someone, so groups of two, and each of you will do a formal portrait of the other, in which you're gonna try to blur the background as well as you can. So pick a background that's complex. Do not photograph people against a white wall. Photograph people against something that has, and I want the picture that the background will not compete with the person in the portrait, will complement the person in the portrait. Does it make sense? You should use the lowest f-stop you have in your lens, whatever is the lowest, and your light meter should be on 0. Is it good? Very good, let's do it.